MIT in PILF. I heartily welcome you. And sir, I want to ask you how you developed your interest about Indian culture and how you started writing about it. From where you got the interest, sir?
Yeah, I came to India by accident, and I had done a bit of journalism before coming here, so I started freelancing, and I traveled the whole of India. I think to know India, you have to travel a lot. You have to meet a lot of people because India is a very complex and difficult country to understand. So because I traveled so much, I came to an understanding that this is a great country with a very ancient knowledge. And as a Westerner, I have a lot of respect for the knowledge which is in this country, for the goodness of the people. Though India faces huge problems, it's a country with great potential. And I believe, as Swami Vivekananda said, it will be one day the spiritual leader of the world.
Sir, do you think the Indian journalist, as you told right now in your seminar, I was listening it very carefully, so I want to ask you, do you think Indian journalist is going to get to its worst, what it is right now?
No, as I said, the Indian journalist is very brilliant, but there are two things. One is a Western clone, Indian journalism just copies brilliantly what is done in the West. There are no Indian parameters, to many of the schools of journalism in India. And the second thing is that, the Times of India and NDTV and a few others have corrupted journalism in the sense that they've introduced paid journalism, that you can buy an article, you can buy a piece, you can buy a report, and that is a cancer for journalism. So something has to be done. Something has to be done very quickly.
And sir, do you think journalism is now ruling the mind of Indian people or the people across the country?
People don't have much respect for journalists in India and for newspapers because they know, that in times of elections, for instance, there is paid journalism, there are pieces which are bought to praise this candidate or that candidate. The second factor is that, Indian parents do not want their children to become journalists. They want them to become IT people, doctors, engineers, and then export them to America so they can make a lot of money. But journalism is a very noble profession, It's about truth, I mean, journalists are warriors, they are soldiers, So it's a very noble profession. So the first thing to happen is that there's a change of mentality, change of perception, that, Indians themselves feel that journalism, being a journalist is a very noble profession, and that children should be encouraged to become journalists.
And so one last question to you. Name any one Indian philosopher which has inspired you, or his quotes that has inspired you. Because earlier, yesterday, you had spoken so much about Indian culture. So I want to know one Indian philosopher who has inspired you a lot.
Shankaracharya was an extraordinary person, who died at 32, who walked the four corners of India, wherever he walked, he established knowledge and truth. Sri Aurobindo, is one of the highest philosophers and poets of this world, of the entire world, and his philosophy is so lofty. He was a nationalist also, he was a revolutionary, he was a yogi. Swami Vivekananda is a very towering figure also, what he has done by bringing, Vedanta and, Indian knowledge to the States, 114 years ago. It has happened, yoga has gone to the United States. Every Hollywood star today, practices Hatha Yoga, meditation, pranayama used in the States and in Europe. So, that knowledge has already gone out, you have so many great people in India. You're not aware of it, that's all. Shivaji Maharaj, he's a supranational hero, His qualities should be known all over India. He should be respected and honored and worshipped all over India. Okay?
Thank you so much for letting us know more about our culture.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.